Every restaurant in a franchise chain has to reflect the culture and the professionalism and the efficiency that made it successful in the first place. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steakburgers is unique because, well, first of all, it's kind of a passion project, or at least it started that way by the founders. They kind of got together and said, what do we want to eat? And they made their menu specifically about that. They wanted to have burgers made to order. They wanted them smashed down into the griddle so they get crispy. They liked frozen custard. They thought it was a more fun eating experience than just ice cream. One of the founders had spent some time in Chicago and wanted Chicago hot dogs. So they sat down and they wrote this menu, and the whole project turned into a passion project. So it really came from what it was that they wanted, and it turns out a lot of other people did too.
I'm Randy Simon.
And I'm Scott Redler.
My brother Bill and I and Scott were all in the restaurant business for several years. Scott all of his life, and Bill and I were CPAs before we started in the restaurant business, and then we both got into franchising. I've been in it for 44 years. And food gets in your blood, it really does.
Years ago, I opened up a steakhouse, and I needed a partner, and a great friend of ours introduced Bill and I, and we ended up becoming partners and really lifelong friends. It's an incredible relationship that we had. We miss him a lot, but we ended up opening, at one time we had 6 Timberline Steakhouse and Grills.
According to franchise intel firm FranData, it costs less to start a Freddy's restaurant than it does a standalone Burger King. Yet the annual sales are slightly higher. That means that the sales to investment ratio is better for Freddy's franchisees.
We have a total of 342 locations as of today, and 27 of those are company stores. The balance of them are all franchise stores. So the system has grown primarily through the franchise mode, but we did open 6 company stores during 2018.
You know, that's one of the points of difference. Most, or a lot of franchisors are so focused on different things. We're focused on our company stores. We're focused on the success of our franchisees. It's unusual for a franchisor not to make back-end dollars on any purchasing of equipment, food, or any supplies, and we don't. Our goal is for our franchisees to be successful, and when they're successful, oh, what happens? Oh wait, they open more restaurants, more Freddy's, and we all win in that situation. It's a lot more fun being transparent and doing things the Freddy's way, the right way, and it leads to success for all.
That's part of the reason that they have such a small failure rate. Everybody knows how to run this operation. Everybody knows how to play this game the way that the Freddy's leadership wants it to be played. A lot of these really large chains that you've heard about that everybody knows have grown so much that there's not a lot of territory to open up. A company like Freddy's can grow so fast and grow into new territories specifically because it's not massive. We went over Freddy's numbers with franchise expert Jeff Leffler, CEO of Franchise Grade.
They've consistently opened between 40 and 50 locations a year for the last 5 years. The majority of Freddy's franchisees are multi-unit owners, and that's one of the reasons why they've been able to scale at the continued pace that they have since 2010. One of the interesting things for me is most franchise systems have what we call franchisee turnover. So this turnover happens if a franchise location closes or kind of shuts down, or a contract with a franchisee is not renewed. So for context, the average franchisee turnover rate is 9.9%, and Freddy's is only 2.8. That to me is a standout statistic in my mind as to why it's a noteworthy opportunity.
These businesses just stay running. They just don't close like you would see in an average franchise. They just keep going.